But getting to the substance of today, I'm going to look at this, as I always do, as an industry guy. I'm the CEO, COO, CFO that you're presenting products to. And I've always taken a skeptical view of those vendors who talk about being the best, the strongest, the smartest, the most efficient. And what I'd like to set the table with is, as we discuss best in class, we should always keep in mind, how do we define that operationally? What is the evidence that you use to base your decision on that you are best in class? And more importantly, when you talk to a client, a potential client, do we have evidence that you can use as the basis for, number one, what you've accomplished, number two, what you hope to accomplish with your client, and number three, what the value of the affiliation with you becomes? So evidence-based results are key for me. Second is, if you are so good at what you do we have client endorsements that also say that you are as good as you say you are? Because oftentimes we're viewed as salespeople. Salespeople have questionable credibility. Clients who represent how we've done becomes a value that's very important. Third is an intangible, and that is how innovative you are in creating solutions. And when I think about innovation, in my early days in the consulting business, it wasn't with Mazars, it was with another big firm. Their position always was, can you resell what the products are that we have? You know, one size doesn't necessarily fit all in this industry. And the ability to go in and assess the problem and create a solution that is appropriate for that client becomes an intangible value to the client, and also ultimately will optimize the results back to the client. So I want you to think in those terms. Lastly is the end-to-end solution. Many times we look at a transaction as part of a larger process. And we sell or focus on one step in that larger process, and we lose sight of what the entire end-to-end solution, number one, is, and what the greater value is back to the client. It also gives us the ability to work with all of our members in bringing them together to create that end-to-end solution. So going back to the original premise of best practices are differentiated from others, are measurable from others, has value and measurable value. So I'm going to stop at that and turn it back to you, but realize that I'm going to be the nudge here, who's going to be challenging our thoughts around how do we determine best practice? What is the messaging we want to get out? And how do we position ourselves?